Last week I caught this clean sell on gold and I ended up holding this trade for around 5 to 6 days. So in this video I want to give you a breakdown of this trade, why I entered, where I set my stop loss, and where I set my take profit. And I also want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the love and the comments that you're leaving on the videos. I really appreciate it. Let's start off from the daily time frame. And as you can see, when it comes to gold on the daily time frame, price is very much bearish. I need you guys to keep that in mind because we don't go against the trend. We trade with the trend, right? The trend is your friend. So when it comes to the daily time frame, gold is very much bearish because as you can see, it's clearly making lower lows and lower highs. We had a low here, we had a high. We had a higher low, but it ended up making a lower high, right? Came down, lower low, lower high. Made a lower low, made a lower high. And then it ended up breaking structure to the downside, creating our indication. So I posted this on my Instagram that Sunday before I took this setup. And I showed you guys that this was my key level and my point of interest on the daily time frame. This was my key level because price had broken a swing level on the daily time frame, which ended up giving us a lower low. And if you know me, or if you're new here, I trade ICC, which is indication, correction, and continuation. So once we got this indication, I posted this on my Instagram, letting you guys know that this is what I'm looking at, and that was the indication phase, right? And once we got this indication, this meant that anything under 43.69 was potentially going to sell from here all the way back to down here. So if you go down to the 4-hour time frame, it's gonna look clearer. The black line is the key level on the daily time frame, and it's where price broke to the downside, creating a lower low. If you go down on the 4-hour time frame and you look at price on the 4-hour time frame, it is still very much bearish. Because if you can see from here, price had a little consolidation around here, but it ended up breaking to the downside, giving us a low. Then we created a high, right? Created a higher low, but then created a lower high. Lower low, lower high. Ended up breaking structure at the same key level on the daily time frame, creating a lower low, created a small high, then created a lower low still. So the 4-hour time frame is bearish and the daily time frame is also bearish. Those are the only two time frames that I usually use when it comes to trading gold. I usually go down to the 1-hour time frame, but that's mostly when I'm taking entries. When it comes to market structure and marking out my key levels, I use the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. And I usually like to mark the candle body close. So once we know that this is our breakout point and this is our key level, right? We need to find our previous lower high that was created on the 4-hour time frame. This is the last lower low that got broken on the 4-hour time frame before price created all this movement, right? We need to figure out where is the previous lower high that created all this movement. And if you look at this chart, we have a couple of lower highs that created this movement, right? This being the last lower high that we had on the 4-hour time frame that created this movement. We have another lower high right here, and we have another lower high right here. So the market was consistently making lower lows and lower highs on the 4-hour time frame. We can also mark this out and also call this a lower high. So after the indication was done, we had to wait for the correction. The market ended up correcting, closed around here on Friday, then opened with a big gap on Monday. But I need you guys to remember, this is our last lower high that was created. And as long as price has not broken above here, giving us our indication and a correction, there is no reason for us to be looking for buys. So this was just a correction on the 4-hour time frame. If you go to the daily time frame, it's also always important for you to align the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. Because on the 4-hour time frame, most people got faked out here, thinking that price had broken above this, giving them an indication and a correction, right? But as you can see on the daily time frame, this is one single correction to our key level. There is no break of structure on the daily time frame, and there's nothing to show you that you should be looking for buys. So it's really important sometimes for you to always check the daily time frame and make sure it matches with the 4-hour time frame and the 1-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, price corrected back to this point and met a strong level of sellers. This is a strong level of sellers, as you can see right here. Price reached this point, it ended up selling off. When it came back to this point right here, it ended up selling off, right? Came back the second time, got rejected, sold off. And when it came back the third time, it got rejected again and it sold off heavy to the downside. So this setup looked a bit like this. We had this indication, we had our correction. The correction tapped into our key level, then started selling off. We went down to the 1-hour time frame, and when you come down to the 1-hour time frame, you're going to see that price is bullish on the 1-hour time frame, and that's because of the correction. If we are looking for sells, the correction is going to be bullish. And if you are looking for buys, the correction is going to be bearish. So how do we know that the correction is done and we are good to enter for sells? This is what confuses a lot of people. In this case, we are looking for sells. So the only way to know that the correction is done is when price breaks structure on the 1 hour time frame or the 30 minutes time frame and turns back bearish. So as you can see on the 1 hour time frame, price was bullish, building up higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, broke structure, built a higher high, higher low. I need you guys to remember this is all a correction. Got to our key level, built a higher high, higher low. Price ended up struggling around here, but after creating this higher high and tapping back into our key level, it came back below our key level. And I need you guys to remember, below this black line, sellers have control of the market. And as you can see, this was the previous higher low that was created before price started consolidating. So when it got back under our key level, sellers ended up pushing price heavy to the downside, and we ended up breaking the previous higher low that was created. So if I was to mark this out for you guys, this was the previous higher low that price created. Sellers ended up kicking in heavy and breaking this previous higher low that price created. So we had an indication to the downside on the 1 hour, showing us that price is preparing to turn bearish, right? We had to wait for the correction, still on the 1 hour. And when price came back below this 1 hour key level, that was my key to enter this trade. So let's look at everything clearly. The daily time frame is bearish. If we go down to the 4 hour time frame, indication, correction, this is a continuation. We waited for confirmation on the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame is now also bearish. So the daily is bearish, the 4 hour time frame is bearish, and the 1 hour time frame is also now turning bearish. That is more confirmation for us to take a sell trade. So when price came back below this 1 hour key level, I just entered my trade. And as you can see on my MT5, this was my entry. My stop loss was around 43.24, and my take profit was where the indication ended. And if you go down to the 4 hour time frame, that is how it looks on the 4 hour time frame. I ended up holding this trade for around 6 days. This was Thursday when I entered this trade, and we ended up hitting TP on Wednesday this week. I always tell you guys, when it comes to trading ICC and when it comes to trading in general, if you want to see success, you need to be patient. Price takes time. You need to be patient. Our take profit goes where the indication stopped, because the indication stopped right here and the buyers kicked in and pushed the market up, right? This is a strong level of buyers. And like I told you in my previous video, price is always going to sell to a level of buyers, and it's always going to buy to a level of sellers. And that's how that trade went. So what I'm currently looking for on gold, as you can see, price on the daily time frame broke structure to the downside, giving us another indication. Currently, price is correcting. If you come down to the 4 hour time frame, as you can see, we have the same thing. We have a break of structure to the downside, giving us our indication. It is currently correcting, right? So if it creates a higher low and it comes back below 40.57, I'm going to be looking for sales. My first take profit will be around here. That is around 39.83. And if price maintains momentum and it keeps pushing to the downside, I'm going to be looking for it to reach the next level of buyers. And the next level of buyers is right here, around 39.18. So price is currently correcting. If we get a higher low and price ends up coming back below 40.57, I am going to be taking sales from 40.57 all the way to 39.18. But with that being said, that is just an analysis. I don't know what the price is going to do for sure. So all we need to do is monitor price. Today is Friday. Market is about to close, but coming into next week, let's monitor price and see how it goes. If it ends up creating a lower high and we end up coming back under 40.57, we might potentially take sales from 40.57 all the way to 9.18. And I always post my trade setups on Instagram, the before and the after. So if you want to keep up with that, follow me on Instagram. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.